talking about how a book can catapult your business. Before people were logging on, I was sharing with Laura just how my books have changed my business. And I want everyone to know that Laura is the resource for this. I have shopped around, I have looked, I have talked to other publishing houses. Um, Laura, you're the real deal. And I am
Thank you.
forever grateful for you saying yes to a project that I thought was not going to happen. And you showing me that not only was that project going to happen, but it blew up into a whole flippin' series. So Laura, please take a minute, introduce yourself, tell us who you are and how you got here.
Yeah, thank you so much. Alison, you're such a badass. I'm so grateful to be in your world and just was so honored to have, to be invited to kind of take that project that it was your baby. You had a little baby project, right? And I'm like, no, we gotta save that and do it right. And I'm honored to have done that. And now 3 of your amazing books. So I'm the CEO of Brave Healer Productions Publishing. We have 3 publishing imprints. Brave Healer Productions is for my holistic health and wellness professionals, experts, practitioners. We have Brave Business Books for my holistic business owners and people doing different business differently. And we also have Brave Kids Books, which is our children's book imprint. And we serve authors now, over 3,000 authors in 25 countries around the world. We are a 17-time award-winning publisher. And I have a really big mission. I'm a retired holistic physical therapist. That was my first 30-year career. I started writing, I started publishing, but I really dedicated my entire life to the mind, body, soul, spirit healing journey. And so I have a soft space in my heart for healers and people who are world changers and want to get their messages out in the world in a bigger way. And when Alison invited me to do this talk today, I was thinking a little bit about what I wanted to say to you all about this big mission. We want to help the world experience what's possible. But books are legacy work. And so this talk today, this is not just about getting your book out. It's so much bigger than that. And I wanted people to be drawn to this talk and this topic because they realize that the book can change lives. This is big potatoes stuff to me. It's not just like, oh yeah, I'm going to get my great signature book out there and it's going to build my business and it's going to be amazing. Yes. And what if one chapter in your book was the thing somebody needed to read to change their life? What if it saved their life?
Yeah.
Would you be interested in doing your book? Yeah, you would, right? We need your book, right?
Yeah.
In the unique way that you can write your book, we need your book. So that's the short intro.
Yeah, I love it. I love it. And Laura, you and I have always been so in sync about why our stories matter. And yes, even if we only if one I said this with my first book. I said if one woman reads this book and it changes something in her life for the better, it was worth it. What I didn't realize going into it, which if I had known what I knew now, then it would have been a hell yes, a whole lot faster for me. I probably wouldn't have waited so long to write my books. But what I didn't know about writing the books was that it would be cathartic for me, that my story would make sense to me once I put it down on paper. I think all of us experience things and we're like, why am I going through this? Why did my life go this way? Or why did I have to go through that lesson? Writing the book, it actually really shows you why your life is the way that it is, or why it unfolded the way that it did. It's very cathartic for me. What I wasn't expecting is how much credibility it would give me in my business. When I announced that I was publishing, before I even had the first part of the book done, people were calling me and going, okay, now you're the real deal. Now I want to work with you. I know you have a book coming out. Now I want to work with you. And maybe what's the psychology behind that? Why do people trust published authors all of a sudden?
Well, that is the thing you hear about most often when people say, why should you do your book? It's to establish authority and expertise,
Mhm.
and credibility in the world. But, a couple of times in the past, I actually Googled and Chat GPT did the answer to how many people really actually, lots and lots, think about writing their book, but how many actually do it? It is a small percentage. Now, those of us who are authors and are out there doing our book
Yeah,
thing,
I'm like, I
we're
meet lots of authors.
exactly, and we do, and we
Mhm.
meet the 2% or whatever it is, 20%, 15%. It is a small amount, you know.
I think
Um,
it was like less than 4% actually publish their
yep,
books. And I don't mean self-publish because lots of people can self-publish and do ebooks on Amazon, things like that, but like actually legitimately publish
yeah,
under a publishing house. Yeah.
yeah. It's a small amount, and it does establish credibility and visibility and authority, and people will want to talk to you. Listen, you're brave for publishing. We
Mhm.
recognize over here, and you mentioned it first. I really want to rewind to something you just said. And it was like, this was the chap. I didn't realize how cathartic it would be.
Mhm.
Well, we recognize that writing and publishing journey is a self-development journey and a healing journey. You can't go to just any publisher and have them really understand that and be able to coach the process in a way that's productive. We have a joke around here about post-traumatic publishing disorder for people who like push publish and go on their book, and they realize more than their mom and their BFF are going to actually read this stuff, and then they have a freak out moment.
Yeah.
It's quite a thing to move through all of those steps and get on the other side and realize, whoa, it's
Mhm.
out there, man. I can't take it back. So we love you if that's you, and we want to help you do that. But then, there are a lot of us, especially people in this group, we're entrepreneurs, we're business owners, we're out there for visibility. We do want to land more speaking gigs and podcast gigs and opportunities and collaborations. A book is the open door to many of those things. And I've seen it and heard it over and over and over. Multiple TEDx talks in our community have happened because of a book. You just said it. People were approaching you because you had the book, and they're like, "All
Yeah.
right, Allison, it's time. You look ready now."
Yeah, I mean,
So,
people were coming
yeah.
out of the woodwork. It was like,
Mm,
even people that knew me, once I said that I had a book coming, they're like, "Can you come speak to our group? Can you come do this? Okay, now I'm ready to work with you."
yeah.
Um, a lot of places, they might make the door ajar, but they're like, are you the real deal? Are you serious? Come back to me when you're a little more established, you know?"
Yeah.
And, I used to get, like, super offended by that. I remember, um, or you'd see these signs, like, "Don't apply if you're self-published." I was like,
Oh, yeah.
"Why? What does that mean?" And back to your point, I think we talked about it early on, is the editing process, that
There's a lot of whys for that.
yeah,
It's funny. You're the first person who's actually mentioned this, and I'm so glad that you mentioned it. They're saying that because if you all have tried to stand up a self-published book that wasn't done very well,
it can actually
next
hurt your
to
business. Yeah.
next to one that has been done well, you will see the answer to what Alisanne is talking about. And it's not just editing, although it is editing, it's the
Mhm.
writing, but
Mhm.
it's also the presentation. And there's
Mhm.
also marks of a traditionally published book that you can see very plainly. Listen, I've learned a thing or two over the years I've been doing this, right? And so my very first one,
Oh, I know,
like
I
I
know.
can't even look at it. Like, no, and
Yeah,
so, we
yeah.
know what we know now, and yeah.
There's a standard, and that's what I love about hybrid publishing, and it is that it takes you kind of to that next step, but then, like, working with, like, a publishing house or, someone where you've got the tools, I don't even know how many books you've published at this point now, Laura, but, all award winners, bestsellers, like, the standard, and so you take this author that it has this passion project and really believes in her story, um, and then you make sure that it fits the standard that people are actually gonna read it.
And
And
even above the standard, you guys,
Mhm. Yeah.
like, when we started winning awards, I kind of woke up a little bit and
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, okay, I'm not out for the standard. I'm actually out for award winning.
Yeah.
And what does that even mean? So I've had to look at some of that and analyze it and now I can pay forward some of those tips and tricks to my newer authors and say, hey, have you thought of this? Let's try this. What about this design element? What experience do you want your reader to have start to finish? And that gets exciting. Like there's big energy to that.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, your whole process, and without giving away too much of it, but just like the whole process of it, you don't play around. And my first time going through it, I was like, man, she's kind of a hard ass. This is really hard. And then the second time I was like, everybody shut your mouth and just do what Laura says. Because like, trust Julie, you went through it with me all 3 times. The first time I'm like, oh my gosh, she's really hard. Second and third time, I'm like, shut up, sit down, do what Laura says, don't be late. Everybody does their part and it's going to deliver. I mean, we hit bestseller in 6 categories in all three books. And
Well, give yourself a little bit of credit for that too. Okay. So when I
okay,
get to come,
I had powerhouse women too.
yes.
Yeah.
And when I come together with leaders like you, and especially an author cast who are all up to that, like that makes magic. And that is actually what I live for, is like partnering with leaders who want this to be bigger than just, oh, we got our book done.
Yeah.
And you are such a perfect example of that. Not everybody gets it in all 6. Okay. Now all of our 108 titles have been Amazon bestsellers, so that's fun. I think 98% of them have all been at a #1 in multiple categories, but not
Yeah.
everyone hits all 6. And then so what? Like, what about after that?
Oh,
And
yeah.
yeah,
After that, that's when really, like, you gotta keep that, like, magic going. But
yeah.
the I think you take away the big scary of it, and you just help us really reach that level of excellence. And it and tying this back to the point that just because you publish doesn't mean it's gonna catapult your business. You have to publish well. You have to publish well. You have to work with someone that knows the process, that's gonna guide you through it, that's gonna say, "Trust me, these timelines matter, this matters, the number of people on your launch team matter, the support matters." Um, and you do some, like, coaching, some writing coaching with it, and I think it's really interesting how you do that because writing is an art, right? Like, we've all got our style and our craft to it. And so how do you coach somebody in a craft, in an art? And yet you do it. You do it. Even if your style isn't my style, y- there's so many nuggets of wisdom to pull from that that really helped me, and I think helped all of my co-authors really stand in their own excellence as well. I don't know
Thank you.
how
Thank
do
you
you
for that. I do it because it's like my favorite part of the whole thing. And
Mhm,
that's, part of the project is paying forward all the beautiful things I've learned about the writing craft and art and skills. And of
mhm.
course, it's a practice. So we're all getting better as we go. But if I can pay forward a little tip that changes your writing world and you start to see your own writing come alive. I just had a great, we had a launch party the other day for one of my books that actually just launched. So I led the Ultimate Guide to Self-Healing project, and these beautiful people gathered for our little party the other day. And she said, Laura, somebody emailed me and said, wow, your writing has improved so much. I love it. And there it was for me. I'm like,
Mhm.
yes, like it's getting better. People are commenting and they're loving it and they're engaged and they're in, right? And so I coach that to help people understand, what that is all about. There's different skills to learn. I get better every day,
Yeah,
every
yeah,
year. Yeah.
yeah. The more we do it, the better we get, right?
Yeah, for sure.
So I think a lot of people kind of have it backwards and that they think that they're going to make all their money in book sales. And
Oh,
so,
let's talk about the money. Yes,
yeah, I
please.
want to talk about the money
Okay.
because I have a business brain. I look at everything before I spend a dime. I want to know how it's making its money.
Yeah. What's the ROI, right?
Now, what's the ROI?
Yeah.
What
Well,
how many of these things do I need to sell to get my money back? And if you're looking at what it costs to do a book, first, if you're watching the recording and you have sticker shock, like I'm glad that we can't see you but that's a very normal thing, right? So there is major sticker shock when people learn how much it costs to publish a book, well. We were talking about this before you ladies came on. When I was shopping around for my solo book, I was looking around $55,000-$60,000 to publish that book. I ended up having a partner. We did it for $35,000. How many books would I have to sell to make $35,000 back?
a lot.
Yeah, that's not how you
Yeah.
make money back on your books. Your
Yeah.
books are lead magnets. Your books are door openers. Um, and I think that a lot of people don't see that, don't understand that in business, how the book is your business, feeds your business. It isn't your business. Let me say that. Uh, and I know authors out there like USA Today authors that make $1 per book sale, you know? So you're not making your money off the sale of the book.
Unless you're an influencer, celebrity, or somebody with a massive platform who can afford to pay a marketing team to sell your books for you. So I will just say that I have seen some pretty cool royalties come through for
Oh, I've
people.
got great royalties.
Exactly. So I
Yeah.
don't want to I don't want to tell people there's no money in it, because that's not
That's
true
not true.
either. Yeah, it's
Mhm.
a limiting belief, I think, and we can bust out of that. But better, real, bigger money is that the book has positioned you to build your business. And if you're selling a course or program or anything, other books, even, if
Mhm.
you've got an ecosystem of things, of offers, that book can actually build your business. You said it can be a lead magnet, but it's kind of like a lead magnet on steroids.
On
It's
steroids. Yeah.
allowing people to get to know, love, and trust you. You've got valuable experiential stuff in that book, and the reader wants to come learn more from you after that. And so of course they want to buy your course or see what's next or come and join your workshop or whatever it is. And over time, if you do that math, you're going to see that you're going to not only make up your investment and then some, but you've got an opportunity there that's way, way bigger than just book royalties. There are some people in my world who come in and they just are like, I just want to be an author and a speaker. Okay. Because they are looking at the money for the books and then maybe the speaking gigs. Well, being paid to speak can be a pretty darn good gig also. But I always say to people, if you have a book, you have a business. And so you don't take it lightly. You want
Yeah.
to craft a book that can do those things for you. And it has to have certain components inside, and it has to be represented well. And you have to have a strategy, and it can be extremely successful.
I have had extreme success from the 4 books. I feel that, well, like we talked about, the credibility, it people knew that I wasn't playing around and I wasn't going anywhere. Like, it was real. Getting people to be part of the book. By book 3, I was turning people away. I had to say, "Sorry, hopefully you're in book 4." Um, and not knowing if I even had a book 4 in me, but, it set me up that people were now wanting to be part of that movement, wanting to be part of the hype of it.
I want to share. I mean, this is what I was born for, you guys. I just want to share a sentence as you're saying this. I really was meant to come in and partner with people who are leading communities, because I'm bringing you, founder of your business, I'm bringing you an income stream. But when the two people come together to develop something this big, and like Alice Ann is a big thinker. So some people are like, oh, one book, I'm good. I'm good. Right. And then
Mhm.
others in my community are like, all right, I've got a series in my head, and this can be a regular income stream where it's a benefit for my members to be published many
Mhm.
times for the first time within this community. So if you look at We Lead and Alisand's 3 books, there's a miniature community, even in just her book community, inside of your bigger community, inside of Brave Healer Productions community. You guys, you
Mhm.
can feel the ripple, right?
Yeah.
So that is where really I was meant to be. I was meant to come in and partner with you to do that. And it has so much big energy. And yeah, so if you're listening and you're getting a little goosebumpy, come find me and we'll talk, okay?
Well, and the number of authors from the We Lead series that went off to do their own books. I
Yes.
mean, Susan Mahaffey, and I know Susan
Yes.
watched the replay of
Yay.
this. Oh my God, her book is insane. It's
Yes.
insane. It is so powerful. It's I I was blown away, and I'm having her authors reach out to me because they wanna know, like, "Okay, I'm contributing in this chapter. How do I get the most out of this?" And they're telling me how this book has changed their life, how it's given them confidence in their business. Uh, Julie Campbell's book with SLG, how it took that organization to the next level. Um, that like lights me up. And those
Yes.
women come back to me and say, I had the confidence to do that because I participated in those books and saw what it did
Yeah.
and the doors that it opened. And then they realized that they were community leaders too. And they had many voices around them that had stories that could amplify the work that they do. Yeah, I have like goosebumps talking
Uh,
about it. I mean, looking at Julie and Michelle, ladies, you're community leaders. You have people that look to you to say, help me amplify my voice, help me amplify my message. I've worked with both of you ladies for a couple years, many years, and women are looking to you saying, help me tell my story, help me share this. And I just think that's beyond powerful.
and let's not forget Tara De Leon with Hot
Oh
Mess
my
to
gosh,
Hot
Tara
Mom.
De Leon. How are we gonna forget about that book? That book is a riot. It's a
Yes.
riot. Yeah.
Tara's book is so good.
Yeah.
And she also is out there giving people opportunities to shine and to like live their best life and to step up into their skin and feel good about it. And like, yeah, I just loved that book as well.
Oh my gosh, that book, I still give that book for like new moms, baby shower presents, like all the things. Like it's so good. I think Julie, you were in that book too. Yeah. So it's just the community part of it, the want to talk about one of those like unintentional like happy consequences, happy accidents that happens in there, to be able to have that community of people um to do this with, to do the book signings with, to have the celebrations with. um and you've now shared this experience and you have a deeper love and understanding for the work that they do. It makes it so much easier for the co-authors to amplify each other and to recommend each other. Um, there were 2 women last week, they were like, "Oh, we're working together now." And I'm like, "How do you 2 know each other?" And they're like, "Alzan, I'm chapter 16. I'm chapter" I'm like, "Oh my gosh, I totally forgot." And now they have this amazing collaboration that they're doing,
Yes.
because they connected through the book.
That's one of my favorite reports as well, is that the networking through the book community itself is creating opportunity, new businesses, new clients, new friendships, all
Mhm.
the things. It's how awesome.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
So, for a collaborative book, I do want can we talk a little bit like business savviness here of the price of a collaborative book? What's it run?
So we have an incredible program called the Dream Program for my lead authors. And it's a book, it is the whole book project, which usually rolls out through about a 4 month time period. We included a 6 month strategic business circle for those leaders and a 5 night Caribbean retreat in that year
Mhm.
because a lot of reasons, because I was doing these things that I've mentioned separately with different kinds of groups and different kinds of reasons. And what I realized is if you're going to be leading a project like that, you need a few other things and you need a little family. And it's really cool to meet in person for that retreat and then to be able to follow up with each other and get to know each other every month and help each other build your businesses. So like that's, you know, a half year mastermind that I don't even like the word mastermind anymore. I call it my strategic business circle.
Mhm.
So the dream program is $28,000, and that includes the entirety of the book project start to finish, which if you heard Alisanne talk about the price she paid for her one solo authored book, you realize that that's a pretty good price. If you're like, Laura, I don't want to do this circle or the retreat, then that's a 20 grand project. And that's my 26 fee schedule right now.
I mean, that to me just blows my mind. I don't even know how that's possible to do that. And if it's in a collaborative book and you have, what's the goal of how many authors to have in a collaborative book?
It's 25 max. So the lead is the 25th author. So you're recruiting 24 authors into your world. And we go between 20 and 24 maximum co-authors.
Okay.
You know, one of the things you guys should really understand about people who publish those types of books is many times you don't even get your name on the front of the book.
True.
And so there was a point where I had a poetry book and there were like 33 authors in it, and their names, you know, these names are small enough as it is, but the names were so small. I'm like, okay, I'm not doing it again. We're going to max it out at 25, and we're going to make sure everybody's name gets put on the front of that book. And that's a pretty cool feeling for my co-authors. So 25 is kind of a magic number. I had a very big and magical download at the beginning of my journey, and 25 was the number back then, 10 years ago or 6 years ago or whatever the heck that was. And it's my story and I'm sticking to it. So about 25. But other people have come to me and said, well, Laura, what if I want to do a book with 12? And I'll say, great, but it is the same price.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So my first book that I did with you, I did with 12. I think it's 12. Is that
I
how
think you
many
had
ambassadors?
more than 12. I don't know. I'd have to look.
Yeah, maybe
Yeah.
no more than 15. It was a very
Mhm.
small number. It was my current ambassadors at the time. Um, and you know, it was rolled into what the ambassadors pay, part of their fee. And then when I realized I wanted to do a second and a third book, I was like, well, how can I like make money? Like,
It's meant to be an income producing project for the founder,
yeah.
because you guys, like, it takes something to be a lead author. Like, and Alisanne, you learn very, very quickly when you say yes the first time. It's like you are out there co-leading it with me.
Mhm.
You are doing the cat herding with me.
Yeah.
You are project managing with
Yeah.
me. And
I
so
wanted to get paid for my time.
I want you to be paid for your time and
Yeah.
your energy and your effort. And it's okay if the financial deal in the end is a wash, but I much rather you be receiving and getting that exchange a little bit better, like, vibrationally.
Yeah. So to break even on that price with 24 authors, that's less than $1,000 an author.
I know. And I did
That's
this math
that's
the other
crazy.
day. Yes. And that investment, like if, Julie, you've been in several, and, if you were coming into a project like that for like $900, that it just seems like what? Like
Yeah.
that what we pour into the co-authors in terms of return on that investment is 10 times that. I don't know, you know? Yeah.
Well, the lead author is also absorbing like the marketing costs, the things like that to
Yes.
actually get the book out there. But to just break even, it's less than $1,000 per person.
Yep.
I think I capped mine at 1,500 a person, and that allowed me to like buy gifts and have a party and like do all the things. Um, and then, but I know some authors that have charged 2 or 3 grand to be part of the book, and now they're like really profiting by building this collaborative book. It's become an income generator for their business. I think that's brilliant. I think that's totally ethical and totally amazing because they took the risk and like you said, they're herding cats and they're managing the project and they're doing all the things.
Well, it's not only brilliant, but it's when you're, you know, most of those people are then, y'all are such givers. And
Mhm.
so you're pouring that money back into your group. You're giving back with that, yeah. And even at the $2,000 or $3,000 mark, I just want to make sure everybody knows we're still over delivering
Mhm.
at that price point. So that's why I just wanted the whole thing to feel super good in my
Yeah.
body and super no brainer. And like, I want to give people an opportunity like they've never had before. So I always say to people, this will be the best business investment you have ever made.
I agree with that. I agree with it. I don't regret that money. I felt that um I pulled together some really powerful women to tell their stories. 100 copies just went out yesterday that are going out. Like, I
Yeah.
cannot even keep them stocked here. And that feels so good. I love sending that group text out that says, "Oh my gosh, 300 copies just went out to, this expo or that I'm at." And I mean, Julie was there. Everybody's like signing, their book. Their book was given there, and that's more people that they're getting out in front of. And so it's not just the process of publishing the book, but the legacy of how it lives in all the different places that it's going to be. I had one ambassador, she couldn't participate in book 3, but she wrote the on the back cover of it. She said she got 3 clients from that book, and she
Excellent.
she laughed so hard. She's like, "I got 3 clients from the book that I didn't even contribute a chapter to, but they knew that I was part of the series, and, I wrote on the back of that." She's like, "It's doing its thing. It's doing exactly what it's supposed to do." She's like, "I'm getting calls from people, and they're like, 'Oh, this book was in my swag bag. I read it. You've been' like, here we are."
Well, let me just comment on the energy of collaboration for a minute.
Mhm,
Back cover reviewers are part of that collaboration.
mhm.
The artist that works on your front cover art is part of the collaboration in our books.
Yeah.
Sometimes we'll have a forward writer. They're a
Mhm.
part of the collaboration.
Yeah.
Your designer, your formatter, the people that are crafting our award-winning books. This is, and that's part of why this energy is so big. It's like I want to let everybody have a moment to shine who's contributing to all of these different kinds of moving parts of a book. Shout out to Jen Osterhaus for, working your design so well with your branding and making that every time that shows up, it's you.
Yeah.
It's part of, your thing. So I think that if people really get on board, even with just the energy of collaboration, what's possible for me here, then you're going to be opening yourself up to a world that's, pretty limitless.
Yeah. Yeah. I love it. I had another author, she was featured in What's Up magazine, and they didn't even mention me. There's absolutely 0 mention of me about this book. She had a chapter in it. The whole write-up, not once did it say my name in it, and she was like, "I'm so embarrassed, like, I can't believe it." I'm like, "No, they pulled it, they featured that book because of your chapter, because of what you contributed to that, you know? And we had a good laugh about it, and the book is so much bigger than just the lead author. It's so much bigger, and it does open doors, and people do notice it. I've had so many people on launch teams say, "My friend Julie Blanfin was in the book, so I agreed to be on the launch team, but I fell in love with chapter 6, and, like, I reached out to that lady, like, her story, like, impacted me so deeply." And that I love stories like that. I love to see the crossover and how we're able to amplify each other in so many ways.
Yes, ditto on all of that. You're making me think a little bit about the business owners who come in to inquire about this kind of project. And I think what's coming to me about some of the people who have said yes is you may not be a business powerhouse like Alisanne, and or you may look at that and go, ooh, I think I could do that, right? And you can. And so when you come into my world, your business strategy world is going to be blown up in a good way too. You are going to be challenged to step into the best version of yourself that's showing up out there and networking with prospective authors. And whether they say yes or no to your project, your world is getting bigger. Your
Mhm.
business world is getting bigger. Your networking world is getting bigger. And I've had many lead authors go, whoa, I didn't realize what that was going to be all about. And it has changed my business already. And the book isn't even going yet.
Right.
And
Right.
it's scary because it's sales,
Mhm.
but I think don't we all need a little kick in the ass sometimes when it comes to getting a little better at our sharing game, because if you don't know how to sell your stuff, no lives are changed.
Right.
And that's
We
really, I talk to myself like that a lot too. I'm just like, Laura, get over yourself. Like,
Yeah, we
go
have to share our
share.
resources. We have to share our resources. If we're not talking about the resources we have, then how will people get better? And
Yeah.
we all know that we help people. So I want to open it up, just questions that you have. I mean, I know both Julie and Michelle here are published authors. But what specific questions do you have for Laura or for me about this and your business?
Anything else?
Gosh. I'm just so grateful because I am learning so much about I mean, there's so many things just in our 40-minute conversation that have never dawned on me before. Like I didn't realize the collaborative opportunities and have never thought for myself, but now I'm thinking, okay, I could do that. I could be a lead author.
You absolutely could do it, Michelle.
Um,
You have so many collaborative partners. You have so many people that collaborate with you.
And
yeah,
listen, I'm not that scary to talk to, Michelle. So we can chat on the phone and just shoot the breeze about it. And I would love to learn about your community. And
yeah.
the first thing I ask people is like, what is your book? Like, what's the topic you want to be known for? And you know that you aren't the only guru out there. So you'd like to grab your expert friends and have that varied, unique, amazing, all the stories and all the kinds of strategies that we can teach. And there's that community, right? You can do pretty amazing big things with that. So
Yeah.
that's fun.
I'm thinking about a big community that I'm a part of. I also, lead a fairly small community, but it's growing, which is, part of the reason I'm here too. But also part of a bigger community of women, high achieving women doing some really amazing things that, or maybe even just waiting for an opportunity like that to be part of a collaborative project like that. I mean, I just seriously, until you said it, Alison, it didn't even dawn on me that
Yeah.
that's,
I've always thought of you as, I'm like, Michelle, I could see Michelle having a collaborative book just because of the work that you do. And I've always thought that you and Laura would mesh very well together as well in
I
that.
was just going to say that.
Yeah. And now being part of your mastermind too. And just the three other women that I've met, like you really have some powerhouse women in your network that
yeah.
I think would love to have an opportunity to tell their story.
Yeah, I think so too. And I'm contrasting it to, what I'm hearing here to the last experience I had, which was a collaborative effort, with like 32 other, I think there's a total of 32 of us, something like that. And it felt very disconnected. And that's not what I'm hearing here. Like, I
Mhm.
felt like each of us, got our marching orders and our instructions. And, it was a very nice experience, and I loved the chapter that I contributed. and all the other chapters in the book too were amazing, the stories. But I felt very disconnected from the other authors. Some folks like, would, reach out to each other, while the book was being put together, but there was no real community that got created, if that makes sense. Like that energetic vibration and, um, intention just really wasn't there. And it felt really flat to me. Not what
That's
I was not what I was hoping for. So
Yeah, I appreciate you sharing about that. And actually, that's an okay report from the stuff I hear. Like
yeah,
I hear stuff that's way worse than that, and
I'm
I feel
sure.
I feel so bad for, but even in your situation, one of the reasons I do what I do, how I do it, is for the connection. And it's
Yeah.
just, y'all, when you show up to a call and we're doing our project, like you are all my fuel. Like I need the connection too. And I think everybody needs the connection, maybe now in the world more than ever, you know. But that's why we coach it. Listen, we have authors all over the world, so it's on Zoom, right? We're connecting
Mhm.
online. However, we're connecting and we're connecting multiple times over the project. It's not like, hey guys, be in this, turn in your chapter. Okay, here's the book. Like, like we're
Yeah.
getting together 4, 5, 6 times over the period. We're inviting people into networking sessions outside of the book calls. My
Mhm.
biggest shout out, if I had the megaphone, I would run down the street naked with my megaphone and I would say, you guys get to know each other because it's like it makes all the difference, right?
Right.
Some
And
of
it
our
doesn't
favorite
happen.
things were our group book signings too. I mean, I've had
Yeah.
several ladies talk about how much fun the book signings have been, just coming together when the book comes out and like signing them. And it's a little harder when you're all over the
When you're
place.
all over the place.
Yeah.
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 Um,
Yeah.
but there's so many ways that I think the lead author has to be responsible in amplifying that community as well. And so I have no doubt, Michelle, that you would be so nurturing to your collaborators.
Oh, I think
And
it would be so much fun. I
Mhm,
really do. I'm excited about that
mhm.
possibility. Yeah.
You just said a couple of words that I hear Laura say every time we have calls. She always says the word connection, collaboration, energy, vibration. Like
Mhm.
there's always what you were just saying, Michelle. I'm like, oh my God, she and Laura are
Those are my words. Yeah.
Yeah.
yeah, cut from the same stone. But I want to speak to how Alison, you were saying almost like the big scaries. Oh my gosh, it's snowing.
I
Yeah.
know. I saw that too. Like
And
big.
yesterday
It
I
was
was, I
70
know,
yesterday. It was 70 degrees yesterday.
I
What is
know, right?
happening?
What's
Woo!
going on? I
Yeah.
don't
Crazy
know.
town. But the big scaries about working with Laura and how hard it might be, but I love that part. I
Mm.
will not go into some project that's wishy-washy.
Yeah.
I want to know when it is. I want to know what you expect from me. I want to know. I'm going to put it on my calendar and I want you to hold me to it. Otherwise, what the fuck am I joining for? So that part is fabulous. I love that it's so structured. I love that you're a finger wagger because that's kind of how I operate as well. And that's how I learn. And that's how I think crank out excellence. I think that that's really important. And I totally respect that.
You know,
You and how
we're
you
pretty good at the project management now and the
yeah.
cat herding. I call you guys Mustangs though. You're not cats. Like, so I'm corralling Mustangs at this point.
Yeehaw!
Yes.
I feel like a squirrel on crack, but but maybe the Mustang.
Pick your animal, whichever whatever works.
I think the time management and the structure and stuff, like for this kind of project, it absolutely has to be there or you will fail.
Yeah.
And I also just give a quick shout out to my publishing manager, Kelly Kashula, who is like my right arm and my left leg. And she's just as good at it as me. And so when you have two people organizing like that, it goes pretty well, right? But yeah, I'm so glad that you said that. Thank you for those kind words. It kind of needs to be that way or else it just doesn't work.
Well, and as a lead author, I appreciate that I don't want to say you were the heavy, but I could say this is how our publisher works. So that when I was like on people, um, and I think I was only on people on the first book. By book 2 and 3, my people got it. They knew what to do. Um,
Yeah.
but I appreciated that I was like, don't make Laura chase us, ladies. Like, we are professionals. If you said that you were a professional and you are someone committed to this book, you're going to show up. And I just loved that. I loved it.
Yeah, the business oriented books are a bit easier in that realm, and
Yeah.
people, people are on top of it a little bit more.
Mhm.
And it's been a pretty incredible ride. I want to serve in who knows what kinds of bigger ways, but I just want to give people opportunities to share their voice because I know it's life changing.
Mhm.
And that's been a really, I don't know, just I wake up every morning and I just kind of want to pinch myself that I get to do that for people and in the world, and that's part of my big purpose.
Mhm.
Um, and again, I don't know, I'm grateful to you, Alison, for, giving
Oh,
us all opportunities to share and all the things.
oh my gosh. I will just never forget that first phone call. I think I cried to you and I was like, I don't know what to do with this project. I want to throw it away. My husband's telling me he's never seen me quit in anything and that I needed to, I think I said, you're my Hail Mary. If I can't pull this together, I'm going to have to like refund all this money and let these women down. Um, and the project had even gone past the year mark at that point. I had women that were committed to be in this book that weren't even ambassadors anymore. Like
Mm.
they had like moved on and I kind of felt like I flopped. So to turn a flop into a 3-book series that I can't keep stocked. I mean, Laura, I will kiss your feet. Like,
Oh
I'm
my gosh.
so thankful. Uh,
And
and
shout out to
I'm so
Erin.
proud of it. Yeah.
Erin
Shout out
for,
to Erin Harrigan
yeah.
for connecting. But I think, the 3-book series also, what it showed me is, is it just solidified that whole community concept, that all of us are so different and still offer so much value. So much value. So there's no right or wrong story. We don't have right or wrong stories that we've experienced. They are our stories that we have experienced and other people need to hear them. And yeah, I could just talk for days about that.
So, maybe you guys also I'm just thinking kind of here, there's some technical stuff that it's really fun to know too. Like, we distribute these books out on 2 different platforms. Amazon is not the only platform. We're on Ingram Spark so that you can go to bookstores and get your book carried in your local bookstore. So we're distributing on both, and we're publishing as an ebook and a paperback, but we're also a little bit later publishing the Audible. So when you come to publish with us, you'll eventually have all 3 of those versions of your book, out there. And we are providing a professional media kit with everything you need, including your press release and some really fun things to promote. We have a system where we bring you onto our YouTube show as a group author panel, and you get to talk about your chapter. And again, I mentioned already, we've got free networking opportunities and a lot of different kinds of things. So when you're coming in to publish, you're getting professional editing and design, but sometimes you don't even really know about platforms or this or that or what. So if you're out there shopping publishers, ask a lot of questions. And if you want to come to me and you want to know what questions to ask, or you just want to chat about your book journey, come on over and chat with me, and I'll help you get you down in the right, get you started right.
yeah, I love it. I love it. And I know Lisa is listening. I don't know if she's tuning in. She's one of our big writer ambassadors as well. Um, But thank you, Lisa, for tuning in. If you have any questions or comments or want to put anything in the chat, let us know. But ladies, we were not meant to play small. Women need to hear from you. They really need to hear from you. Julie Blampin, I've been saying this for years about you.
Julie's working on her awesome book, except for I need her to do the yoga pelvic health collaboration. I think you really need to do that one too, Julie. I know I'm bugging you again.
Well, I was so glad to meet with you and talk about that. It was fascinating to hear about the process that you just talked about. And yeah, it's on my list. It's definitely on my list. But the mom, because of my mom's health and because of the time, that one is just happening.
It's going to be an amazing book, and I cannot wait to read that one. Yes.
Yeah, it's feeling good. It's feeling good.
Any technical questions? Any questions that you still maybe are like, how does this help my business? What am I doing in my business with this book?
Hey, Laura, this is Lisa. I don't know if you kind of went over this, but in our last call, you talked about how even if your business isn't necessarily directly relevant to your book, how it can still help like cross your communities. Did you talk about that already, or can you talk about that?
Yeah, thanks. Yeah, we were talking about that in our book chat the other day, because let's say you have a website for a different-ish kind of business. Well, you can have a books tab on your website. And of course, people want to understand that you're an author with a book. And so now all of a sudden, your new book gets announced to your email list with this other. Some people think it's non-related business. No, it's related because it's you. Mm-hmm. And all of a sudden they get to know, love, and trust a book. She's got a book. Like, oh, cool. And it might even be the reason you get hired for that business, even if the book feels unrelated.
Yeah.
And so, I get excited about that too. Thanks, Lisa.
That's a great question.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I was just updating my books page on my Substack publication actually this morning, right before I got on this call, because I'm like, I need a books page. Like, there's not a books page on out here. So yeah.
Well, Michelle, I would love to be a collaborator when you decide to be a lead author. So
you guys know
my first author.
you guys know the number one way to market your book, right?
What?
No.
To write your second book.
To write your second book.
So it's I'm always nudging people. It's like, well, let's go, keep writing, Yeah.
I did last night when I was thinking about today's call. I'm like, how many books do I think I have in me? I have 4 that are my own. I've contributed to, I think, 3 others. I'm like, maybe that's just a goal I have. See how many books.
Why not?
Yeah, I'm on 18.
Oh my gosh, so crazy and amazing. Yeah,
it's both collaborations. Is a handful, but there are a lot of solo books in there too. So I mean, I'm a writer. I'm going to write forever.
Yeah. I love it. Well, Laura, thank you for your time. Ladies, thanks for showing up here today. Check in with Laura, connect with her. Michelle, you definitely want to know her. Obviously, Julie and Lisa, you know her well.
I'm definitely, we will definitely be connecting.
Yeah. Awesome.
All right.
Thanks so much, everyone.
Bye.
Thank you.